Oh my god, we're just so ready to stream this evening. I know we're just so late. Heath's already here, my
God, we're
goodness.
just so ready to
Oh my goodness, I got the
stream
wrong
this
headphone in.
evening.
No, I
I
don't.
know we're just so late.
This fucking thing just plays sometimes, you know? What is YouTube doing over there? We need to return to the superior product, and that would be twitch.tv. Now, let's get this thing off the screen. That's an important first step. Hey, look, I just updated OBS, and why can't I... Look. Hey, make it work. Yeah. Oh, this one. Why can't I make this smaller and the screen bigger? Why is the screen so small? We never did put the chat on the screen, huh? In the old YouTube things. It's impossible. I don't think you can do it. I just have to give up sometimes. But anyway, let's minimize that. Oh my goodness, everybody liked the stream. Liking the stream helps with something. Oh, let's make sure I go on all messages, just in case that pesky Miller the Killer shows up. That's very important. Oh my god, I uploaded a video. I opened a video that said ranking every Crash Bandicoot soundtrack. What do you think? You think it's good? Oh my god, this guy knows music, if anybody knows music. Now, hold on, before we look at his list. Of course, Crash Twinsanity is going to be at the beginning, because that's the thing everybody says. What a great soundtrack. Now, we need to see Crash of the Titans in at least A tier. I can't hope for anybody else to be as smart as me. So they're not going to have it in S tier. But other opinions. The rest of them are just good. Wrath of Cortex has got a pretty good soundtrack, I would say. Now, I don't want any of those new games. New games suck. Crash Rumble, nobody's played that video game. Oh my god, he's got samples. Crash of the Titans in C tier, this guy's fucking stupid. Why would Mind Over Mutant be in S tier? I don't remember a single song from this shitty game. It is a terrible list. Tag Team Racing, do I remember any of the songs from this game? I do like that game more than most people. Oh my god, Twinsanity in A tier? We had some harsh opinions here, that's crazy. Nitro Kart's got a great soundtrack. Boom, 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 boom. You know that one. Everybody knows that one. Crash Boom Bang. That was one of my favorite video games as a kid, even though everybody hates it. Ghost Tab is here. I always hit the like button. With a downwards, that's not very nice. Oh my god, every single WrestleMania ranked from worst to best. Now we need to see, of course, WrestleMania 19, 20, and 21. At the top of the list. Now, this is Adam Blompeed here. He was very famous back in the day, and then he got, like, Me Too'd 3 times. Like, 3 separate times. Like, they forgave him, then he got Me Too'd again. Then they forgave him again, and he got Me Too'd again. So, you know, watch out for this guy. He likes board games. That's a big red flag if ever I've seen one. If you like board games, you're rape. It's just, oh my god, WrestleMania 20 is at over here. It's not that high up, though. We don't like this.
Round numbers. Anyway, there's a famously shit match on there. The fascinatingly bad.
Oh my god, who cares? It's
as bad as those matches for some reason always are. But most of this card is good.
No, that match is sick.
Matches, stellar, creating that incredibly.
That main event is sick.
Emotionally complicated moment to look back on the.
Oh yeah, true. The 2 guys that died hugged at the end of the show. This is the greatest match of all time.
Evolution match was fun. God love Molly Holly for sacrificing her hair to get the women's title on the show. And bad, really big sets. It's really fucking big. Like the stage itself, the good matches on the
WrestleMania 23
feel huge. Batista versus Bootista is brilliant. Cena versus HBK is John Cena's best WrestleMania match, and just another Sunday.
I legitimately don't think I've ever seen this full show. But also, this show's lame as hell.
Fucking crunch duds on here. WrestleMania 21, one of the best ever WrestleManias.
Oh my god, we're at number 8. 21, better than 20. Okay.
On paper, this couldn't quite split the landing, but what it did get right was nigh on perfect. Shelton Benjamin creating an all.
First of all, this one is obviously like the best one on paper ever.
Time Money in the Bank
moving on.
Orton versus Streaker is really crawled its way to the top. However, the big hook matches are good. 24, Tempest is very cross with me.
24 is really good. We like 24, actually.
His first WrestleMania as a wrestling fan is fight. They know the WWE tend to fall away. Anyone thought the match against Triple H, Cena versus Bray was really
30 fucking sucks.
And there was, it's not quite.
Daniel Bryan sucks.
Show that this is a hand resembled wacky racism in the work, however. An NWO DX gang war that's
31 is pretty good.
Splittingly funny. That serves to remind you that it just felt right in peace without pulling out amazing shit like this. WrestleMania 19 for a while now.
That should be number 1. If WrestleMania 17 is number 1, you know this is a brain dead fucking list.
Now, the internet wrestling community has been searching high and low for WrestleMania that we can confidently state is better than WrestleMania X7 just so we can feel something.
Oh my god, yeah. We all love WrestleMania X7.
Close their trilogy with their second best match, and Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar is just a feud versus Booker T is all the right level of this from sensational bit to end. Gangbusters.
What could this be? Ew, a new WrestleMania? WrestleMania sucks now? Like, new wrestling isn't good?
Moment on top and entertainment, but good rage turned cave worth waiting for. Bell 7 isn't in the quality of it's in over quick. More than anything, WrestleMania X7 works because it's.
Wait, why is it number 2? What the fuck is number 1 going to be? Another new one? That would be
Beautiful
embarrassing.
variety bravery for Max Feelgood. The hardcore triple threat is a movie match when Linda rises and turning fucking heel on WrestleMania 39.
Oh
AKA,
my
and it's attempt to
God.
be interesting. I believe this.
Nobody likes wrestling anymore.
It's not a hot take. All right,
Wrestling
chair
fucking
shots,
sucks.
Pageantry, the fight and showcase, Gunther versus Drew versus Shane,
Oh
Kevin
my
and Sam,
God.
goddamn
Who
Mania
cares
versus
about
Roman,
this
a great
lame
match, a
triple
shock
threat?
trust, double peak until I die, which
Terrible list. And we don't trust that guy. He's not good. He got me too'd. Tweets? Anybody got tweets to go over? Oh my God, I uploaded a video and it's still got the old thumbnail. Don't worry, I know the thumbnails for this video were hideous, but Elite RE was like busy or something, but now he's made a better thumbnail. So now this video will be world famous. This video took so long to edit, it was fucking crazy, but I'm sure we'll talk about that. True, I said the scripted video was going to be out. It wasn't going to be out. I had to re-record some lines. I needed some thumbnails. True. I finished Pokemon Elite Fire Red, and I'll start Leaf Green soon, I think. Look at my great squad here. Now, the joke is, this squad is pretty bad. And it did take me, like, 10 attempts to beat the Elite Four, but we finally did it. Let me tell you something. Furo, we was getting, like, a drill peck fucking critical hit every goddamn fight. But Lance was the biggest problem. Well, and Agatha. I think I only had to try and beat the champion twice. But everything else was good. Because, you know, let me tell you something. Arbok sucks, but I love Arbok. So, you know, he's got Intimidate and stuff, so that's pretty cool. But what you got to do with Arbok is you got to put Rock Slide on him, because none of these other idiots can learn Rock Slide. Maybe Arcanine could, but he's already got too many tools. And then he can kill the pigeon every time. So it's pretty cool. And he killed Lance's Gyarados every time, too. Now, Vileplume is pretty cool, but in the Elite Four, he does absolutely fucking nothing. So he was kind of a pain. Actually, he got rid of the Dugong. I always had to lead Vileplume. But anyway, poor Butterfree really didn't do much of anything towards the back end. You know, even on those poison types, they would just sludge bomb the poor Butterfree, and it was like 2/3 of his health was gone. It was upsetting. Blastoise also kind of really sucks. Unless he's like over leveled, like when you were a kid, he's really not that good at all. He doesn't really have enough special attack to do anything really cool. Even though he's a big shell guy, his defenses aren't that good. But we do love Drill Peck, so we love the Great Furo, and Arcanine is really good, obviously, so it helped a lot. But, you know, it was very fun trying to beat this thing. I haven't gone any further, so I haven't got my Deoxys or my Mewtwo or my... I can't remember if it's Lugia or Ho-Oh yet, but I'll get one of them, I'm pretty sure. But there. It's pretty cool. Ghost Have says wrestling is fake. That's why all the wrestlers die while wrestling other people. That's why those wrestlers die. True, I guess. Congrats, Blastoise is OP. Blastoise is not OP. Blastoise sucks, I just said. But anyway, I had to teach it Blizzard, and I think a Blizzard hitting saved me at the end. But I can't remember what the exact context was. But also, this image is edited with AI, because it's not widescreen, so I put it... Oh my god, look, the Gemini thing is here. I forgot it did that. We gotta get rid of this. The other ones don't do that. But I guess it shows. I'm being ethically consistent here. Maybe I just faked it. Maybe I didn't beat it, and you guys would never know. But anyway, I also beat the main story for Ball X Pit, but I'm also not done with this game. But I beat the final stage with my first 2 characters. It was pretty cool. Ball X Pit is a really good video game. It's like Pong, but like roguelike. Except, not really. Anyway, it's pretty cool. And Evangelion and something. Oh my god, there's like 2 new big documentaries on Netflix. There's the Manosphere one. That's only like 1 episode, though. That's like a single, like, 90-minute documentary that I see everybody talking about. And there's also the Murdoch family one, which I already started. So everybody get super excited for that. That'll be on my media checklist before the end of the month, I'm pretty sure. I did do a thing. After I finished that video yesterday, I did do a plan for the rest of the month. Oh, I don't think I've actually... Venusaur is the worst, in my opinion. I feel like Venusaur is pretty good. If I play through Leaf Green soon, I will use Venusaur, and I will report back. Charizard was pretty good when we did our Nuzlocke, I remember. Venusaur has the powders, so it's probably really good, but also, like, what we mean when we say good in a casual Pokemon playthrough is how much stuff is it one-shotting. And I'm pretty sure the strongest move that Venusaur gets that isn't, Solar Beam, which is already annoying because you have to wait 2 turns, so that's not a question, is Razor Leaf, and that probably doesn't one-shot anything it's not quite effective against. So in that way, in the casual playthrough, perhaps Venusaur is the worst. Oh, I already have kind of my team planned out. I want to use a Muck. I want to use maybe a Dugong. I want to use Primeape. I've never actually taken a Primeape all the way. I want to use maybe a Tauros, maybe a Rhydon. Maybe a bunch of other ones I don't use all the time. So, you know, we'll have to just wait and see what happens. Also, I think I should make some sort of a scripted video on Fire Red. Now, the Pokemon people, they've already beaten me to it. They've already done it. In fact, if I ran out of things to do today, that was what we were going to watch on stream, but we'll see. There is something to be said. Let me drink. I grew up mainly as a Gen 3-4 guy, though I did have Fire Red when I was little. But I never really got too far into the game, like past Misty or whatever. This is when I'm a really little kid. Like, when I was, like, 11, then yes, I'm pretty sure I beat Leaf Green. And I nearly beat a Fire Red cartridge one time. But it was, like, a fake Fire Red, and, like, the save file deleted right at the end, and I was really mad. I had, like, 17 fake Fire Reds that we kept buying off eBay when I was a kid, and they were always fake. And people would just scam, and it wasn't cool. Dugong is fun. Try Venomoth. It's fun. Venomoth wouldn't be too bad. I've definitely never used a Venomoth. And by all accounts, it's just better Butterfree. So, we'll see. I don't know if I had another bug lined up for that playthrough, though. Not really, because Pinsir is kind of boring. Beedrill, whatever. And that's all the bugs, I think. I don't want to use Scyther either. Silver and Gold is still my favorite. Well, I'm about to shit-talk them this instant with the thing I was going to say. Which is to say, because I grew up as a Gen 3-4 person, and really every Pokemon game after that, they're extremely linear. Like, you can't beat gyms out of order. The first two games, you can do that. And there is something to be said about once you beat Lieutenant Surge, and it's actually once you get through Rock Tunnel, where you're like, you can do, like, the next, like, I don't know, 10 hours might be extreme, but the next 8 hours of the game, you can tackle in any order. And Johto tries to do this too, but it just does it terribly. Oh my god, Ghost Stab, cover your ears. Obviously, everybody complains about the level curve in Johto, but it's really fun in Kanto, because you get there, you get out of, like, Rock Tunnel, and everything's, like, level 30 to 35, and you're, like, maybe level, like, 29, unless you're, like, grinding or whatever, which is lame. I only had to grind at the end, because I wanted everybody, especially because my team was a bunch of underpowered Pokemon, I needed them to all at least be level 50. Also, I love how many fucking rare candies you get in this game. Anyway, it's, like, really cool. That, like, 8-hour opening up where you can go anywhere. And also, just the older Pokemon games are so much better at just letting you do whatever you want. Even in those more linear games. Like, everybody complains about this in Sun and Moon, but my goodness. Every 5 seconds, some retard is showing up to tell you where to go. And it's pissing me off, and it's pissing you off, and we hate it. Also, it's, like, wider and easier to access than Johto. And also, but then it's also funny. It's like Johto and Kanto are the boringest fucking regions in the world. Like, there is no cool, or like route landmarks or anything. There's cool landmarks in cities and stuff, but every route is like, they're kind of coolly designed, but there's nothing cool in them. Unlike Hoenn or, I guess, is there really that much cool in Sinnoh? I guess not. But Hoenn tries. You know, you got the volcano, you got the fucking. We're in the long grass, foresty, rainy area. We got the fucking different altering caves. Not altering cave, that's a different thing. You got all the water outs and stuff like that. And they definitely, like, pick that up as they progress the series too. But the openness of the middle portion of the Kanto games. Maybe we could make some sort of shitty scripted video on that. Oh my god, this was a funny 21 Savage Barry Lyndon edit. I really should rewatch this movie, I think. I think a lot of the joy of this movie is that it's, like, the best looking movie to ever exist, where every, like, thing looks like a painting. But I streamed it, I think, on an illegal streamer. So, like, the picture quality said it was, like, 1080p, but, like, it probably wasn't, and it was, you know, those things always suck. So I should definitely torrent this in, like, 4K and watch it. Though the movie was really long and kind of fucking boring. But, like, this shot is fucking incredible. And also people go on about the lighting in that one scene and how they lit the whole thing with candles, and that should have been impossible or something. That was like a thumbnail about it one time. True, this was my team and my levels. And see, this is me at the very beginning again, because I had to lead with the Vileplume to beat that. I had to use Giga Drain 4 times to beat Dugong, because then you could waste one of the heals, too. Oh my god, the second Chainsaw Man is freaking ending, guys. Are we freaking out about this? We got our final Evangelion review. Oh my god, Zentai, Umi, Matsumiri Waru. That's what they say in Revolutionary Girl Utena, my new favorite series that we just talking about with Elite RE. Elite RE was having weird dreams about Evangelion. Can you believe shitty Elite RE likes the rebuilds? What a fucking loser, huh? But anyway, that's all the shitty tweets we have to go through. Stop trying to save things. See? Oh, that's the industry music. We freaking love industry. Oh my god, which one are we going to go through? The great... I wasn't doing a thing. The great, Chainsaw Man is here. Oh, there's an interesting thing. So, because it was the last thing, we got 2 commenters that I'd never even heard of telling us, please don't give up on Chainsaw Man. We love your Chainsaw Man reviews. Who knew that people loved our Chainsaw Man reviews? There's like... So, basically... I think the format we have now, where it's I don't know, it's very good, I think, and it's very insular. Like everything, especially now, this is just true with all my unscripted content to a point. Everything is like a weird in joke, and also I'm always saying the opposite of what I think. So I have no idea what people who don't know what the fuck is going on when they come into this shit and know what the fuck we're talking about. But whatever, maybe they just listen to the Great Elite RE and say that boy is making some good points. But I like the chapter review stuff. That's fun. That's fine. We've been doing that forever. But the addition of the Reddit stuff is fun and funny. And even the tweets that we've added recently, I think are really good too. So I like the format. So then the question becomes, and I talked about this with Elite RE after our Utena discussion. There's, oh my god, it's that really funny shoot video that was just recommended to everybody 7 years ago and everybody watched. Never mind. Nobody knows these great wrestling jokes. Trip says, what the hell? Oh my god, and Trip is showing up saying, how dare you say I don't know who you are? My goodness, I would be offended too if I heard that, but we must move on from insults in life sometimes. Oh my god, Ghost Tav is talking about Pokemon. I started playing Spry the Spyro 2. Spyro, I know that game. People talk about that game. And I've always been, whenever that game gets recommended to me by Steam all the time. But I don't like card games. Card games are lame, so I never played that game. Or Spirit the Spire 1. Black and White is also fun. True, Black and White is a very good Pokemon game. We love those. We love Black and White 2 too. 2. I'm at work. I gotta step up for a bit. Oh my goodness, Ghost Tab. Just quit your job so you can watch the great streams. But Trip is here and we're sincerely apologizing. The point that we were saying is, oh, we love the great format here. Now, there's 2 roads this could go. The first road is we retire it and we never get to do anything again with it because we're so lame and Chainsaw Man is over and we're so sad. Or we do another series. Now, there's like 2 series in serious consideration here. And it's because they fit criteria. And that's Kagurabachi and Dan Da Dan. Because what we want is we need a series. Chainsaw Man is so perfect. We need a series where me and Elite RE think it's good, which is the hardest one we'll probably come over. Because Chainsaw Man is really good and really interesting in everything it does. It's like the most meta, whatever the fuck, you've heard the spiel before. It's a thing we both consider a 10, and that, like, it's still coming out, and we all always have a lot to say about it. So in that regard, I'm probably more confident in Dan Da Dan being good, and obviously Dan Da Dan is very similar to Chainsaw Man in a bunch of regards, at least from what I could tell from the last, like, the 2 chapters I read, and also he was Fujimoto's assistant or something. Kagurabachi is probably just a shonen. That's probably okay. I have no idea. There's a sword and a fish and something. And it's going to be Jujutsu Kaisen in 2 years when it gets an anime. So they need to be popular enough to have big communities, because what could happen is making fun of Reddit is a core part of these things, and that's fun. But like, if it's like a Reddit of like 17 people, like I wouldn't do it for the Vinland Saga subreddit, and I do think those guys are annoying, and Jockey Bacon is the moderator. So we have like an in there almost, but like, they're just the little Vinland Saga guys. They ain't hurting nobody over there. But like, Chainsaw Man is like every shonen retard's on there, so that's hilarious, and we can make fun of them, and they're stupid. And you don't feel like bad about it, and there's so many of them that you're not going to pick on like the same person every week, and people aren't going to identify names, and your crazy fan base wouldn't go and harass them or anything like that. So it needs to be a popular series. It needs to be coming out right. There's also the issue. Oh, the other issue is Kagurabachi is like half as long as Dandadan. Dandadan is like 200 chapters or something. And in my head, Dandadan's anime came out yesterday, but apparently there's already 3 seasons of that and shit. And also, Alidari kind of wants to watch the anime for that. Kagurabachi doesn't have an anime yet. And it's also like, if we get into Kagurabachi, we're in it from like the ground floor, versus Dandadan, which is already established. Also, we have to do the catching up period, which is probably going to take like a month and a bit, or like 2 months. And for Dandadan, it would be longer. It would be funny. Maybe Kagurabachi is boring and we'd just do it all in one video. That would kind of be fun. 130 chapters or something. But those are all the criteria. Now, this all kind of depends on what happens. Because there's 2 outcomes for this next Chainsaw Man chapter. It's finished and that's the last chapter. Or it says part 3 coming soon. There is a world where there's a funny joke and it says part 3 starts next week. In that case, both these series are out and we're just going to keep doing our Chainsaw Man chapter reviews. There's another thing of like, well, the structure here is good and the people like it. But like, what if we leave the people wanting and for like a year and then we come back with Chainsaw Man part 3 and that's like even more exciting. And that's like being truer to the goodness of the format rather than like going to do something else and then coming back. Like, the people will want it more if you deny it to them or something. Just think of the "we are so back" comments we would get on our first chapter of part 3 review. But it really depends. But also, last time the gap was like a year and a half minimum, right? It might have been like 2 years. So, like, we could do all of Kagurabachi in the meantime. Also, I have no idea if, like, Dandadan is finishing soon, right? 200 chapters is already pretty big. So is it going to wind down in like a year and then we're back in this position? Is Kagurabachi going to be super long? Like Demon Slayer is only like 200 chapters or something, right? That was the most popular thing ever. So I got no idea. These mangaka nowadays just don't have the stomach for 700 chapters like the great Masashi Kishimoto. What can we say? Third opinion is just to continue with part 3. Trips just knows where I'm going with this. Kagurabachi is peak, but I think the Reddit might be too boring. Now, see, because we investigated with the great ChatGPT, and it said there's lots of memes. And it's like, so it would be good for that. So that leads me to think people are probably really annoying and stupid. So maybe. But also, we could just look it up, right? Like, I don't give a fuck about spoilers, and it's not going to go, oh my goodness, it's Gabe Kidd. Kagurabachi. And also, I didn't know Kagurabachi had parts. Where's the mother subreddit? 75,000 people. That's pretty good. Now, where's like the chapter review? Right, here we go. Chapter 115. We need like 200 comments. Oh my god, there's 300 comments. We got 1K upvotes. It's like what we got for Chainsaw Man. I guess we'd have to look at Chainsaw Man to see like how much it usually gets. But there's enough stuff here, I think. Oh my god, that was... Oh, I thought that was Revy. Never mind, it wasn't. Oh, burping. It's gross. 400K, that's a little bit more. Oh my god, 3K comments. That's a lot more. But I don't know. 200 seemed enough. Also, like, part of the point is that, like, I think some crazy things about Chainsaw Man, and I'm very, like, mean about people who don't agree with such things. So that's kind of lends the Chainsaw Man subreddit to be ridiculed better. But I don't know. I think it's fine. Oh my god! I just saw a comment get deleted. What was that about? He's gone power crazy. I didn't get to read it. Wait, what are the options? Edging us okay. Oh my god, he's still eating everything. Parts is very funny. It's not like Chainsaw Man, they're just laughing with a new arc has started. Okay, that makes sense. Because I did check this, because I did go to Weeb Central, and the latest chapter did come out less than 7 days ago. So I did get that, what do you call it? I did get the impression that it wasn't out. Oh my god, Shitty Minty is here. Everybody gets scared. Hi, Carl. Please answer my question if you have time. Do you think Betty Draper would react if she heard the song Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke? I think she would be very displeased with the current state of society. Now, she would have been... What would Betty's birthday have been? The 30s, right? So she would have been 90. So maybe she'd given up by then, and she loves sex by then. Oh my god, Heath just deleted Minty's comment. My phone's in my pocket? Oh my goodness. Heath's deleting everything by accident, he's saying. That's not true. You gotta get YouTube Premium so you can minimize it, so you're not clicking on things. Or maybe I was deleting the comments and this is a big gaslight. But true, I think we're probably leaning towards maybe trying Kagurabachi. But true. Also, Alidari hates manga, so there's also that to get over. And it's also because we did see, like, well, we could just do this for an anime, right? Like, the format is not special to manga. But reading a manga chapter in less than 2 minutes is really cool. Watching a 22-minute anime, the Darwin Incident, I'm on episode 2, all right? I'm not good at this stuff. But also it would depend, because there's also, like, the internal conflict I'll have if there's a new anime, and it's like, oh, do I want to read the great manga instead? I don't want to do this. But we'll see. Yet to be determined. Again, we'll really start thinking about this and making decisions when we see if it says continuing in part 3 or something at the end of the next Chainsaw Man chapter. But you know my position. It's ending. It's terrific. Oh my god, did we get any comments on this? I don't even remember. Sure. Oh, I did see this. Oh, it was Trip. Trip's my favorite commenter. I thought this was really funny, where I said, let's just
She's
say
being
what I said.
domesticated, all right? This happens in anime all the time. These women, they have big personalities, they have a kid, and then they got no personality.
True. And Trip said, Vinland Saga Gudrun reference. True. I'm truing right now. And oh my god, we got the greatest movie of all time, kind of. But no one was commenting on the great opinions in this video. But I don't know. There was something somebody said that was stupid, but outside of that, it was just a big old circle jerk with Alita Re loving this great, what do you call it, movie. New JoJo anime starting this week. I can't start on part 8 or whatever, and you really don't have to know anything about the previous parts, Truth Nuke. True, that was true, but I think everybody would kill me if I started JoJo's at part 8 or whatever. Our Utena discussion came out today. Did everybody go and watch it? I think it probably was impossible to watch the whole thing before I started streaming. But this was a fun little discussion. Actually, it was interesting because the beginning bit is fun, and then it's just kind of us going through the episodes, which is a little less fun. But also, it was all there really is. Like, there wasn't that much overall to talk about, so... But true. And we love Revolutionary Girl Utena. I have seen episode 13, by the way. No biggie. Also, I'm up to episode 74 of Naruto. So that's very exciting. Alidari denied my request, my formal and written request to do Naruto this week instead of next week. But he said he just doesn't have the time to watch it all. So everybody hate on Alidari. I tried to get everybody Naruto a week early. I know we're all looking forward to it. But, that's not happening. And direct your blame to Alidari. Also, that means next weekend, which is not this coming weekend, but the one after, we have to do Utena and Naruto. Thankfully, I'm nearly already done with Naruto, so because we're going up to episode 80. But it should be fine. Other than that, Utena is really good. We love Utena. This is another thing, because we're talking about this shitty video I made. The next video was going to be, well, originally it was going to be the Gendo video, but, like, that's really boring to me right now, so I didn't want to do that. And I was like, fuck it, I just watched my favorite, LM girls, that react to Black Sails. They've got 2 episodes left, and they just watched both of the, Marion Guthrie episodes, Eleanor's grandmother episodes, and I watched them in full, and I was just watching the greatest scenes of all time, and just sitting there, my goodness. So I was like, oh, I'll just fucking I wanted to make a video on that already, so let me do that next. And then about 2 hours ago, I was re-listening to our Utena discussion, and then I said, I should do a 5-minute video on, like, Utena's visuals. So that might be the next video now. Honestly, I should try and make that video tomorrow or something crazy. It could be done, because in my head, it's like a 5-minute video. It honestly probably should be like a secondary ENT video, but fuck it. We're putting it on the main channel. Secondary ENT scripted videos, now I've reassessed this. They're either going to be arc reviews of Naruto or One Piece, or they're going to be really, really dumb videos. And I do have an idea for one. Because I kind of want to make one secondary ENT scripted video a week. But the Oh, the Utena video wouldn't be that. It was too good for that criteria, so whatever. What a weird image that Alita chose here. I don't even know what is this, a poster? This isn't from the show. But true. Oh, it's also going to be interesting to see how many views this gets. Because Alita's like got a very old Utena video that has like a bunch of views. Well, not a bunch of views. It has like 500 views. It is funny. Whenever you start a second channel, you get a lot of views on your stuff. But then it increasingly like dissipates. Well, not for shitty Alita's scripted Jujutsu Kaisen stuff. But true, look at all these Vinland Saga ones. I do like all these thumbnails. These thumbnails were good. I remember playing video games, listening to all of these when they would come out. Oh my god, Alita's mumbling. Now, I'm not allowed to watch this video because it has spoilers, but I did watch like the first 15 seconds. And Alita's really mumbling in this video. It's very funny, you know. He was just so intimidated to record. What a B word. What a B word. Anyway, I said to ignore Dandadan and Isra and not for Tokyo Ghoul. I mean, I do want to do Tokyo Ghoul. At some point, I thought Mia also wanted to do Tokyo Ghoul, but when me and Mia were deciding which manga to do next, I brought up Tokyo Ghoul, and Mia said, I don't want to do fucking Tokyo Ghoul. Oh my god, Fujimoto doesn't freaking care anymore. Oh my god, it was a lady that's complaining. That's crazy. Oh my god, I did watch that Chibi Reviews video, and he said something really funny. He had like a weird theory. But I forgot what it was, and I don't want to rewatch it. The one I was trying to get Alita Re to watch. But true, he was talking about no matter what happens next chapter, it couldn't make him like it. So that was funny. I watched some manga video like a month ago, I think, talking up the new Tokyo Ghoul Guy series. But I am interested in Tokyo Ghoul. Plus, both of the Tokyo Ghoul series are like pretty short. But me and Mia are going to do Yu Yu Hakusho next, so we've also got to figure out if we're still doing the Claymore anime. Also, I want to force them all to do Baccano before we... Because the idea... I don't know if I've said any of this publicly, but I'm leaking it. I think the idea for our next, like, 4-person series... Well, the original idea was, I think Bacon or Ari said... I think it was Ari, and then Bacon agreed. That we should do something none of us have seen, and that is kind of exciting. I don't think we've ever done anything all 4 of us haven't seen. Because, I don't know, it would be super interesting if I go in liking it and everybody else is mid on it and it's, like, going crazy. The closest we got was Gunbuster and Diebuster, but Bacon wasn't there. And Bacon and me have the most different opinions, I would say. It goes, Alita Re can think anything. You know, he's going to like something that's shit and he's going to like something that's bad, and that's the same thing. And he's going to hate something that's good. Bacon, I think I have a pretty firm grasp on what he would and wouldn't like. And me and Mia are always on the same side, so, you know. I was also thinking today, it's like, I should figure out something about Claymore to make a video about. I think that would probably be a good idea. Even if it's just how crazy the decision at the end of the story is. Yes, great. Yeah, that wasn't a glitch. That was my voice. That was pretty cool, huh? But now I forgot what I was saying because I got lost in the bit. Tokyo Ghoul was how this started. I do want to read that at some point. Maybe I'll read it by myself. I haven't read a manga by myself since Monster. But true. I was like, let me get up the Excel spreadsheet, but I can't remember. Oh, this was the next announcement I have to make. And I already said this on Alita Re stream. But the next stream probably that we do, I'm on like episode 9 or something, is what we're gonna do is a surprise discussion. We're innovating here. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go away, which I've already started, and watch something that Alita Re really likes, and then I'm gonna report back with a surprise discussion. And I'm going to, like, make a PowerPoint, and I'm going to have surprising Alita Re thing. And then so, like, it doesn't show up when because we're going to stream this. And so, you know how you have your slides on PowerPoint over here? I'm, like, motioning to the screen with my fingers, like you can see it. Now I'm doing it with my little mouse here. You know how it has the slide? So we can't spoil it there. So it's going to say 10, 9, 8, 7. So we'll reveal it all dramatically. And then we'll shock Alita Re with the series we've watched. And then we'll have an impromptu discussion where I can say, Alita Re, this thing you like fucking sucks. And we can have a little argument, or we can circle jerk it, and it'll be very exciting for Alita Re. That'll probably be our next stream, because I want to do it probably around this time next week. It'll depend, you know. I got to get Alita Re's availability and all that stuff. I was like, this was the point of this video. So, oh, I can't bring up my Excel spreadsheet because I don't know if I've added the thing I'm watching to it, so it could like spoil things. I guess I could literally check, but also I was just, what was this, to like plan something out? I should always be reading a manga, don't you think? I think that was the point I was trying to get at. Because on the anime front, I was planning on starting Escaflowne. And that's when Utner came up. So I was like, okay. Because I was like, I can watch Naruto and another anime. Like, one that's like 40 minutes. It's really probably about an hour a day of anime watching. Like, I can fit that in, right? Especially when I was watching like 17 industry episodes a day. It just depends if you really want to watch it or not. There's also so many things I want to rewatch and shit like that. Like, I want to rewatch Yamada's First Time. I want to rewatch Bakuno. I want to rewatch Steins Gate Zero with Bacon, obviously. Oh, I remember. The build-up was the thing we're planning, I think, for the fourth thing is Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is long. But that's probably the next thing. I don't know. I think it is an exciting idea. Because initially I was like, no, the next thing we're going to do is The Sopranos, guys, because that's what I want to do. And I'm selfish like that, for real. But then I was like, no, this could be fun. So I see the merits of this. Anyway. Can't stand that Elite RE fella? Me neither. We love stupid, dumb videos. We do. They'll be on the secondary ENT channel, though. Anyway, I said, oh my god, I must have skipped those messages, and now I'm seeing the Tokyo Ghoul ones. You were about to reveal the fourth thing you will watch next. Don't worry, Trip, I got there. Bro's gonna surprise us with mid, like Better Call Saul. Let me tell you something. It would be Breaking Bad Season 1, and it's not that, I guess. I'm spoiling. Oh my god, it's Millie Alcock, my queen. Oh my god, that no good Kristen Cole is there. Oh, I watched this guy's video where he ranked all the Crash games. Spyro is a thing I should play. But it's like expensive to buy old games. Oh, my other idea, and I don't think anybody in chat probably cares about this. Miller would if Miller was here, but that no good bastard never shows up. Oh my god, we just went up to 7 viewers. Did Miller the Killer just show up? That would be really funny. Oh my god, Blur is here. Is this the Blur from back in the day? That would be crazy. Why is this guy use browser in light mode? Because dark mode sucks. Actually, I think I have dark mode on my PC, on my phone. I've never even considered doing it on PC. But also, I need the light in here. It's dark, okay? This is the only light I have going on besides the red of my microphone. What was I about to say? Can I say anything this stream? I can't remember what the frickin' hell I was saying. And now I will never remember. Miller the Killer, it had something to do with that. Oh, I think I want to play a bunch of NES games. That was the build-up for that. And I think I should make a video on it. And I was like, oh, that would be like a good secondary ENT video. And like, then I thought like, that's obviously a great main channel video if I can figure it out. And we should do more gaming videos, especially when I'm playing more games. But I did start this a little bit. I was playing Donkey Kong on the fucking Switch Online thing. Also, I think it will softly get me into emulating retro games that I haven't played. Because in my life, the only games I've ever really emulated are Pokemon games. And that's just because I've played them all a million times, so it's fine to play them on PC or whatever. And I've always been hesitant to do it for anything else. Now, I was emulating those Crash games to get footage for them, and that was fine because I just played Crash. And this came up because I was talking about Spyro, because the solution to that is just emulate them, dummy. But I'll see. Because I don't really have a big problem with emulating NES games that you can't play anywhere else. Like, I don't have an NES. The only problem is I would like to play them with an NES controller. And like you can buy them through Nintendo or whatever, but they're like $70, I think. Why is everything so expensive? Why aren't I rich yet from sponsorship money from my great YouTube videos that get 150 views? Now that's pretty cool. Hold on, we didn't even refresh it. It could be at 153. And now don't stop playing. Oh, I was trying to mute it, but I unmuted it. Oh, it is 153. Who the fuck are you fucking with? Oh my god, Boardwalk Empire. That's the greatest show of all time. Oh my god, that's Harper. That's Harper and Robert. And then Yasmin just walked in the background. That's Hari. And the spoilers, don't say what happens to him. And Gus. And then there's Harper again. And then it's going to be Yasmin and Harper. And then it's Yasmin again with my favorite scene. And then I think this is Gus and Jesse Bloom. And there's, I think Haley is Karen Shipka's character's name. And there's Sweet Pea. We freaking love Sweet Pea. You know what's crazy? This girl is my age. And I didn't like finding that out. Because she looks like a sophisticated young lady. And I'm a Twitch streamer. And that's not really cool. And not even a famous one. But sure, everybody go and watch our Revolution discussion and leave a nice comment. What the frickin' hell was I saying? Something about something. So we got some things cooking, alright? And mostly to do with shitty discussions, though. Oh, I still remember March is my last chance to make video essay videos this year. I haven't watched many video essays. I only watch the ones I want to watch. It keeps giving me Boardwalk Empire stuff. These refreshes aren't pulling anything. Oh my god, Alita Ree is still only watching 4 One Piece episodes a week, this fucking bum. Oh my god, did you see Alex Johnson scored his tries in the thing I said he would score his tries in, so I'm world famous on the Footy ENT channel? Getting new subscribers fucking is difficult on this goddamn thing. I'll get a video with like 200 views or something, 300 views, you'd be like, that's probably like, you'd get like 5 subscribers from that, right? This is like a 1 subscriber maybe, I think. So that's kind of crazy. This one got 1.1k. This is another thing where I was like, oh, I think I know which. Oh my god, I've got 3 days to make it. This is crazy. I was like, I think I know what my video this week is going to be for Footy ENT, but then I think I changed my mind on that again today. So I'm changing my mind on everything. What's there to say? What can I say? Oh, we can talk about. Look at Alita Ree's new thumbnail. God, the thumbnails I had for this fucking video were so bad. But Alita Ree made a nice one. Look at this nice one. We got Yasmin, we got the Gothic Phantom from The Sopranos, and we got Roman Roy here. This is pretty cool. We like this. It's probably too late for it to have any real effect, but now it looks nice on the channel at least. You know, this one really looks bad. Look at this terrible like stroke text. You know, that's not a good thumbnail. This thumbnail's pretty good. This thumbnail's great. I can't believe this video didn't get any views from Chainsaw Man's new controversy. This thumbnail sucks, but it's better than the one I had. That thumbnail kind of sucks. This thumbnail kind of sucks. This thumbnail's great. This thumbnail kind of sucks. These thumbnails are okay. The Dina one's better. That's a good thumbnail. Also, we had to edit this one, remember? Because originally it wasn't both images on the side. It was like a different one, but it had Guts' butt in it. This is unironically a pretty good thumbnail. This should have been a viral thumbnail. Oh, remember this video? Oh, this video. This is interesting because this video kind of plays into the Oh my god, an advertisement. Oh, another crazy thing about this video is there's like a 17-second scene from Industry in it. And it's monetized still. Now, it's only been like a day. It'll have been just over a day. So everybody calm down. It'll probably get claimed eventually. But it is kind of crazy that this is fully monetized. You know, Haruhi is a based show that I don't think all follower of you have watched. That is true. But how many of us are going to be hung up on not reading the great light novels? Also, I don't want to watch 8 episodes of the same shit in a row. I don't give a fuck what Shave says. I was really depressed watching that Shaves video. I don't know what had happened. But something had happened recently, and I was like, let me distract myself with this Shaves video. And then I was like, repeating a cycle and something, and this is not what I wanted. So I clicked off that fucking video. Oh, because this video is kind of the point of it. Well, the point of it is like to recommend Industry, I think. Oh, I hate when this fucking new shit happens. I don't know how to unhappen it. You like right click and then close it or something. Oh my god, look, it's like one panel up here. Now it's not one panel anymore. Anyway, the actual body of this video is just like retelling scenes and like trying to recapture them to like portray them to, especially the Industry portion is like, most people that watch this video haven't seen Industry, so you're like explaining it and you're also trying to sell the show, which is the same thing with Die Buster in this video. But, like, I did it so good in this Die Buster video, and I don't think I did it that well. Well, I think I did it okay. But even here, I had the power of, like, clipping things out to help me, and I still don't think I got that good of it. The Sopranos scene is different, because I feel like everybody that's seen The Sopranos really likes this scene, so you don't have to really sell it. And then Succession, this is kind of a bigger scene. But I'm just trying to, like, say why it's good. Also, there should probably be an what do you call it? Outro timestamp that starts here. I probably should have talked about this scene. This scene is so good, but... Will we ever talk about shitty madmen on the channel? Apparently not. But anyway. You know. I don't know. Is there much to say about this video? I, like, fucked with this industry section so much. It was such a pain in my fucking ass. Is it a good video? Not really. I kind of like that now I have, like, a video where I talk about industry succession and The Sopranos on the channel, though. Because it's always annoying where it's like... Especially before I had made even those Last of Us show videos where it's like, I have made no videos about The Last of Us Part 2. Well, that's not true. There was like one. But it's like, ugh, we need to make more of those. So yeah, and I made the marketing one. Now that's a great video. Where's the fucking marketing video? How far back is that shit? Oh my god, it's back here. Terrible to frame it through all the kind of funny stuff, but that was fun. Look at all these 1K videos. It was a depressing time. Look at all 8 of these got 1K views. Oh no, 2K for the corpse motif one. Oh my god, we should just make Berserk videos. We'd be rich and famous by now if we were making shitty fucking Berserk videos. Anyway. I don't really want to talk about this fucking video. It's got a cool thumbnail now. Isn't that sweet? Oh my god. Oh, we were talking about video essays a little bit. So we can check the playlist if we really want to. Everybody loves AEW at the moment. I don't know why, but... Well, actually, I do know why. I watched some of the clips, but... I don't like wrestling. Leave me alone, wrestling. Oh my god. Reconnecting with Pokemon Fire Red. Most romance anime ignore friendship. This one doesn't. Oh my goodness. That must be a tremendous video. Also, I have no idea what this anime is, so let's find out. A casual defense of Pokemon Leaf Green. We love Pokemon Leaf Green now. Oh my god, this Wolfie guy ranked every Pokemon or something. People really love this Wolfie guy. You know, I don't like VGC. VGC's lame. Pokemon's least popular games deserve better. This is obvious clickbait. Negativity towards Black and White. Oh my god, another anti-Mauler video? That's epic, bro. That's epic. Oh my god, this guy made a Berserk 2016, 10 years later. What could you possibly say? Nobody appreciated what Gen 2 did to Kanto. What? Ruined it? Got him. An eye-opening retrospective of Pokemon Yellow. We love Pokemon, apparently. Pokopia. I can't play that video game. I don't have a 2 thingy. Don't let the monkey fool you. This anime is insane. Look at the Darwin guy's evil eyes. Spoilers. This is Pokemon's most forgotten game. True, it's Pokemon Conquest. Which is a game I probably should like, but I don't. And we're into old videos now. Feels like we've been going on stream forever, but we still got some battery left. 41%, my goodness. How long have we been going? 45, 50 minutes. I've said a lot of stuff. It feels like an hour or something. Oh, never mind. I recognize this channel.
It's a Pokemon with a lot of potential, provided you're willing to sit next to it on the struggle bus. This is a curious thing for him to say about Charmander, a Pokemon that evolves into an icon that we can seemingly never escape. Why is this the case? For what is arguably the worst choice of the original 3? A Pokemon that has an unfavorable matchup against the first 2 gym leaders. A Pokemon that is stuck using Ember for an uncomfortably long time. A Pokemon that is intimately familiar
final
with
problem.
I'm
These timestamps are kind of good.
drawn to Charmander's bright tail like a moth. I know that it's gonna make Brock a pain in the ass. I know that it'll probably lose to him a few times.
Bad Pokemon.
Suppose that bottom tier pick gotta waste a turn to use Transform. You get locked into a speed tie with whatever Pokemon you're matched up against.
Ditto is not
stat
good.
is relatively low since Transform doesn't change it. Ditto's probably cooked in a lot of matchups. That means it isn't a good choice, right? This is often how we talk about Pokemon. Viability equals good. Your
True.
favorites cannot be bad, born of precisely...
Did you know what Karen said? She said, strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, those are merely the something of foolish humans.
mindset I have regarding Beedrill. A lot of people love Ditto. Kinda sucks for it to be frustrating to use in battle, but if he's your guy. Here's my question, though. Where does Ditto's identity begin and end?
I hope this video doesn't convince me to use Beedrill, because I just suffered through Butterfree.
Tough Pokemon managing to get off that Transform, stealing a powerhouse threat? Should that not have a steep price tag attached? As a community, I feel like the answer we have reached is a resounding no. Ditto will eventually receive the Imposter ability, bypassing the need to use Transform altogether. A fairly innocuous change on its face. One I think we could all agree
That
makes
is
it more
funny.
effective.
I've never even considered that, but that is what happened, right? What do you... Does Transform as a move even exist anymore? I guess probably for Mew, right?
In battle, but was it necessary? Must we frame the change that way? There is an impulse within me to start talking about how much Pokemon Fire Red improved on the original games. Ditto now has access to its signature held item that...
Oh my god, remember that great Tamahiro video about how Fire Red destroyed the original games in a bad way? Like, the original games are way better and Fire Red and Leaf Green suck? I should rewatch that video.
Its critical hit rate. Mechanics work as they're explained to you.
Now that I love Fire Red. But to be fair, I have only played through... I played through Red like to like the midpoint a bunch because I had an old Red cartridge, but it would delete its save sometimes when I was a little kid. Well, not that little of a kid. I had a version of Silver that always deleted like very early on when I was a kid, and it was really, really, really fucking annoying because I really wanted to play that game, but I never could. And then I had Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and Leaf Green, and they all worked perfectly. And then I got Diamond and Pearl, and they all worked perfectly. But now that Diamond one does the same thing. You know, these physical media sucks; they just degrade. Why was I possibly bringing this up? Oh, so I have no frame, or like I played Fire Red way more than I've played Red.
Onix has a rock-type attacking move. Pokemon, in general, have abilities and move pools that more straightforwardly complement their strengths. It would be easy for me to say that these are the reasons Fire Red is fun. It's more or less how I've discussed the evolution
of a very bad rock team
series on my channel thus far. When I first played Fire Red, I had no original game to compare it to. At that time in my life, I had no idea what a generation was. I didn't know you could remake a video game. I thought it was a sequel to Emerald.
Hold on, I want to see
I had no original game to compare it to. At that time in my life, I had no idea what a generation was.
Using a Parasect is kind of cool. Rhyhorn, true, and Clefable's kind of cool.
I didn't know you could remake a video game. I thought it was a sequel to Emerald. When I'm playing Fire Red nowadays, it would be dishonest to say that I'm even thinking about Red and Blue. They don't feel like the same games. Red and Blue are very silly Game Boy games with a ton of heart. Mechanics don't work as explained.
When you actually play these games, you're not thinking, man, these mechanics don't make sense. This is like such an overstated position through like memes. It's kind of annoying.
Trainers don't make sensible decisions. Wrap and sleep can trap you in battles forever. Just a few years ago, this stuff kind of pissed me off. The more distance I get from it, though, I can't help but laugh at the absurdity of it. Secretly, some of the funniest games I've ever played, dense with discoveries to make while diving into their fucked up code. That is not Pokemon Fire Red. Here's a game that works as advertised.
Hey, fuck off, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm watching a fucking Pokemon video.
One with a little more teeth, with flourish.
Oh my god, do you have a gas leak? You keep forgetting things. No, I just always forget things. You know, it's upsetting. I need my Addy roll, but I've never taken one before.
Is provided by the Game Boy Advance that jump out at me more vividly. It's easier to make sense of what's on screen. Lavender Town does not carry with it the 8-bit fog of the Game Boy that inspired creepypastas. It's more transparently a creepy town with a giant tower of dead Pokemon. I have an inkling
Lavender Town ain't creepy.
That Lavender Town was more interesting in its original form. I can't really say that, though. Lavender Town had me asking some extremely uncomfortable questions about the Pokemon world on the GBA. Walking in and hearing that theme still threatens to send chills down my spine. I'm 28 years old. It left a huge impression on me when I was younger, in a way that Mount Pyre of Hoenn never really managed. Got the same feeling exploring the Pokemon Mansion. What the hell is this place? Why is it abandoned? What are all these notes? Why does no one seem to acknowledge what the hell's going on? You go in, solve a few puzzles.
Oh my god, he had Porygon and
research notes,
Cube,
and you fight Blaine.
Kabuto.
Like it never even happened. That hit me in a different kind of way than the explosive stakes of Emerald. It's that added edge which keeps me coming back to Fire Red specifically. Even if I'm no longer at the age where the Pokemon Mansion freaks me out, that uncomfortable pit in my stomach flares up at the Indigo Plateau. It's as if it was built to keep us out. Charizard, Porygon, Lydon, Beedrill, Parasect, and Kabutops. To say they did not match up well would be an understatement. Lorelei.
Oh my god, what level is he? If he's like level 55, he's a pussy-ass bitch. But if he's level like 50 like me, then he's a cool guy.
Lydon might as well have been a spectator.
Oh my god, he's even lower than I was.
As it collapses in the face of any incoming attack. Charizard's rock slides just could not break through this unbelievable bulk consistently enough to survive the tidal waves thrown against it. Beedrill's powerful stinger was enough to
Lorelei's hard.
dent in Slowbro and Jinx, but it was not strong enough to...
True, this fucking Lapras is just gonna heal a fucking bunch.
Parasect's underwhelming speed made its ever-reliable Spore useless, as it was never surviving Ice Beam. Kabutops and Porygon's reliable Rain Dance and Thunder combo would either power up her water types or be quickly sidestepped by her ability to whip up a Hailstorm on command. On top of that, many of her Pokemon could confuse us or put us to sleep, taking advantage of our low speed to completely immobilize us.
Bro, they be statusing you in this fucking Elite Four. It was pissing me off for real. Also, I've never seen this back sprite, and it's kind of terrible.
Command. On top of that, many of her Pokemon could confuse us or put us to sleep, taking advantage of our low speed to completely immobilize us. I had never been so shut down by Lorelei. In the past, the teams I pre-built would never have allowed me to have so many shared weaknesses. There would have been more useful synergies, and I would have been able to spread out my moves more efficiently. Not so this time. We had
I know the feeling, brother.
Met our match, and by this point, our bond was so strong that there would be no reinforcements. Nobody would be left
I actually want to see how the fuck you beat this.
All of us would be champions, or none of us would. As had become a theme this playthrough, I looked towards a mechanic I had almost never properly utilized. My berry pouch. In other games, there are mechanics to grow as many berries as you want. In Fire Red, those berries are precious resources. You find a finite amount of them on the ground through Meowth's pickup ability. I had accrued just enough of them for this challenge, and if used appropriately, I'd be able to bypass Lorelei's annoying status moves. Charizard would be our opener.
See, you know, I didn't cheat with berries. I just brute forced my way through.
Rock Slide would be able to drain Lorelei of her full restores, and flinch Dugong enough times to just barely make it through her first Pokemon. Cloyster's two-turn moves like Dive and Protect, meant to whittle away at our team, actually made Beedrill's Solar Beam an essential weapon, letting it deal with that Pokemon on its own, setting it up to deal with Slowbro or Jinx with its newly acquired Chesto Berry. Of course, Lapras was the real problem here. Already an annoyingly bulky Pokemon, that Citrus Berry made it even more resilient. A single Persian Berry would not keep Confuse Ray at bay long enough to matter. Dragonite paving the way for Lance to be defeated by my Dragon's Rock Slide. What a fucking chump, ever and always.
Oh my god, he actually is going through how he beat every battle.
Tossed away at the gates of Ascension, found themselves on the door.
The final problem
See, there is another problem, one so tall that it blocks out the sun. As much as I enjoyed playing Fire Red again, I couldn't help but feel like something was still missing, a feeling that I don't ever recall grappling with at a young age. Kanto is a region indifferent to your presence. For the most part, you're left to your own devices, tasked with figuring everything out. You're locked out of cities like Saffron arbitrarily, forced to discover hidden...
See, this is actually a cute video now that I think about it. Now, this guy does, like, retrospectives on every Pokemon game, right? That's, like, his thing? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I recognize his channel. Or not? Oh, yeah, I guess he ran out of Pokemon games, right? The best Pokemon game that never released. I legitimately have no fucking idea what the fuck he could be talking about. But true, and then he made one big video for clickbaiting. But, if you're like a gaming channel, it's cute, like this game came out and then you have like 3 different points you want to make and how it's like, and it's like reflective and it's probably the feelings most people are going through playing through these games again. Because I had a similar thing, right? I decided to use a bunch of Pokemon I would never actually have the patience to fully go all the way with, like, go all the way with, like Arbok and Butterfree and Fearow even, rather than using like, let me go and get my Nidoking and my Charizard and my Raichu and my let me see here. I ran out of generic Gen 1 options. My Nidoqueen. When I was a kid playing this game on emulator over and over again, you best believe I had a Nidoking and a Nidoqueen on every team.
routes that wind throughout the region.
It did suck though, because Nidoking took all the good TMs and Nidoqueen was left like using Body Slam or something.
One of which sees you dissolve a criminal syndicate that these T-sipping bastards are doing nothing about. This is an aspect of the region that I love, that the hinges fly off after you wake up Snorlax, enabling you to do whatever you want. There is no set direction to follow,
Sure.
an element of the series that would slowly wither away. Alluring as the freedom this section promotes is, it's also the portion of the game where I most feel like I'm spinning my wheels. It's
Oh my god, this is the portion I was talking about how great, like, the great things earlier in the stream.
home to routes with trainer after trainer, dungeons with trainer after trainer. None of them really pose much of a threat. The route between Lavender Town and Fuchsia City is an
I said that wasn't true.
agonizing test of endurance no matter how many times I played this game. One of my favorite things about this
I like it.
was comparing approaches with friends. What Pokemon did you use? What direction did you go? What did you find?
Mhm.
Once upon a time, I could have postponed my lengthy trip to Silphco to catch
It does suck that, like, even though I'm talking about how you can do anything after you, like, open that stuff up, I always do it in, like, the correct order. I always do Celadon first, then go to Fuchsia, then do Sabrina. So I'm a little cuckold to normality here. Maybe when I play Leaf Green next, I shouldn't do that. I should do Sabrina first. So you should almost certainly always do Celadon first, because otherwise the levels will be all fucked up.
exclusive for a friend, help them with a trade evolution, or have a few battles that are a little more exciting than your average trainer. Defeating Team Rocket isn't even my responsibility. I'm a kid. I'm allowed to goof off and do whatever the hell I want. So when the credits
I
rolled
should
after a
do- I
moment of
should use
transcendence,
Golbat
I was
next
unceremoniously
time.
chucked into the Sevi Islands. I could no longer look away from this problem I'd managed to keep at bay. I used to love exploring these islands. Each new island was another mystery to solve.
What's the
Pokemon
problem?
that none of us had ever seen before. Standing in line at Toys R Us to receive the Deoxys mystery gift was an inseparable part of that experience. It might have just been an
I never went to none of these events as a kid.
island where you fought Deoxys, but it represented endless possibilities to us at that age. How many more islands could be hiding out there, ready for us to find? Pokemon Fire Red was this whole world inside my pocket, one that was bursting outside of my Game Boy Advance. It was an experience so far removed from the one you will have with it now. Whether you plop a cartridge into a Game Boy Advance or pursue other means, a part of these games has been dead for decades.
Emulation.
You can hack in the mystery gift events or force a trade evolution with online tools, but it will not bring you any closer to that essential element of their design. What use is there in catching a Deoxys if I have no one to share that encounter with? That was the case with Red and Blue by the time Fire Red and Leaf Green released. You could still play those games, but Pokemania was over. Everyone who was still a fan of the series had moved to the newest generation.
Oh my god, this is this nostalgia. Every old Pokemon guy has to talk about how Pokemon wasn't cool anymore when I was 16, bro. Like it was cool when I was 10, and nobody wanted to play Pokemon with me because a big part of playing Pokemon was sharing it with your friends. Nobody's ever shared a Pokemon with their friends. Nobody's ever traded to another person in a Pokemon game. I don't want to hear this fucking propaganda.
Piece of their identities was dead.
Pokemon is not about interacting with people. Go play Pokemon Go.
And most of the world locked away in the memories of aging children. There might as well be no signs of life in the Sevi Islands today. They're endgame hubs meant to house a bunch of new Pokemon hunt down. I used to explore them every day. We had to figure out where all the new Pokemon were. What's with all these weird dots? What about those random caves with nothing in them? Has anyone managed to get through the imposing battle tower? The islands were supposed to grow with you. New berries or Pokeballs to find, events to download. You connected this series of islands by helping to set up trade capabilities, bridging the gap not only between generations, but between entire games. Opening up trade with Ruby and Sapphire used to be the reward for kicking out the remnants of Team Rocket and solving Braille puzzles. I don't get that same satisfaction from it anymore. The islands are an awkward side quest to finish up in an afternoon. It has made me appreciate how much of Pokemon's magic is fleeting. I remember hunting for Larvitar and spending an ungodly amount of time training it up, along with this avalanche of new Pokemon I'd never seen before. It took me a long time to associate Larvitar with the Johto region, when my most formative memories of using it came from these islands. It doesn't really make sense anymore that so many of these new Pokemon are caught at such low levels. That element of their meaning has been lost to the sands of time. Who's willing to hang out in the Sevi Islands anymore? Chuck them into the daycare and make some eggs? It's just not in me anymore. I once got to send those Pokemon into Emerald version, which I could then use to eat shit in the Battle Frontier. I sent some of them onto my TV through Coliseum and Gale of Darkness, so we could do
Oh, those are the greatest games of all
big
time.
screen. There's a reason they call them generations. Pokemon was this interconnected world of opportunities that everyone you knew was in on. When they were on devices as small as the Game Boy Advance, there was a high likelihood someone else was carrying it around with them to play during car rides. Fire Red was once a game that connected people. That cannot last forever. No matter how many Pokemon I shove into the cloud, they will never mean as much to me as the
This Rhyhorn sprite is so fucking cool.
memories we made. My Pokemon home might as well be a graveyard. I have often considered terminating it altogether. I don't have my Fire Red save file anymore. I got rid of that ages ago to make room for new memories. What's the point of holding on to something that died a long time ago?
True. Is there another
So-
point to this point?
These games first came out, or as imaginative as when my brain wasn't fully developed, to even have a fraction of that same vision again fills me with a renewed vigor. My wife, who never had the chance to play these games, is interested in checking them out. Even though I had just done an entire playthrough, that comment alone was enough to get me raring to do another. Perhaps I'll finally see what all the leaf green fuss is about. Getting to play through these games again, getting to trade Pokemon, maybe complete the Pokédex.
True. It's a great conclusion here. Now, the stream doesn't have much long time left, but I really got to pee. I think we'll probably have to tough it out, though, huh? I could never get a Gengar. No one I knew played Pokemon. True, that's the real experience. No, what you got to do is you got to trade with your own DS, obviously. Now, oh my god, is this just a vlog? We can't make fun of a vlog. I decided I got to pee, but like, what do I play while I pee? I gotta play my own videos. Let me see. Listen to the great beginning of our latest Chainsaw Man. I don't remember if it was a good one. Hold on, let me listen if it was a... No, let's do the fun thing where we find a random one, and I bet we say something funny in it, huh? Where is it? Do we not have a playlist for this shit? Didn't we go through this last time? Where the fuck is Chainsaw Man? Chainsaw Man, where are you? Maybe we don't. No, that's tier list. I just saw Chainsaw Man in it. So let's type in 1. No, because 169, I'll just be making a 69 joke, so that's not gonna be funny. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I didn't even mean to do the jerking off chapter, but here we go. Go back to the beginning. Oh my god, we're starting with chibi reviews. This is gonna be terrific. Why have I never done a bit like this again? Well, everybody, it's a very big occasion here in the Chainsaw Man community. You know, we're going famous, we're going viral, we're hitting the stars, if you will. And because of that, you know, fuck Elidari, you idiot! Our things are still on the screen.
What does I don't even know what that means.
You ruined my... I must have had a bit where I wanted us to pop up or something.
I was going to say, I got rid of Elidari and I have a new friend here that I'm going to discuss the chapter with. My great friend, GB Reviews. But then I realized I didn't take the reactive images off, and I thought
that
would have
been a good
funny
bit.
Substitute bit instead.
Oh my god.
I want to hear what he has to say.
That you can't see him chat and pretend that Elidari is not here, and I just want to say how great and how much I love Chibi Reviews. So, and we're gonna play this great clip here that epitomizes
What a young man. He still had a wife at this point or something.
my love for Chibi Reviews. Make sure you can hear this, Elidari. Speak up if you can't hear it.
Okay.
Everybody started talking. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Why the fuck is it on something times speed? We gotta watch this at 1 times speed.
It makes a lot of sense.
I have no memory of what this bit is or what he says.
Why? I mean, this is a legitimate wild chapter. And you know
Wild.
what? Just like I did for my Tokyo Ghoul chapter when Toka and Kaneki did the deed.
Spoiler.
And Kaneki felt the rabbit hole. Let's have a celebratory...
He's drinking.
Shut up, Elidari. You're not here yet.
I don't have like any whiskey or anything around like last time.
I'm drinking,
That's
Elidari.
all I have. But
I'm drinking too.
For my boy. For my boy Denji. Actually making some progress.
Oh, I did too early,
Might not
Elidari.
be the best way about it.
I'm gonna have
but,
to piss
you
in
know,
2 minutes.
Yeah, to my boy, to Denji.
To Denji.
Wow.
Absolutely wild. It is.
Is that
was a bit
it?
of a bitch sip, Elidari. What did he do that for?
No, that was awesome. I love that.
I wish I had some alcoholic material. I just got a water bottle.
That's a performer right there. We don't perform like that.
Elidari, let's cut the shit. Were you saluting our great man Denji too when he?
Oh
got,
my
hand
goodness,
job
that
on
was
Alan?
it? That wasn't even that good of a bit, but
I
I'm
was in
peeing,
shock
so
when
listen
you
to
Oh,
this.
no, Elidari, we
Video's
gotta set the
happening.
scene a little bit. Now we're still on the cheaper review screens because we still got things to go over. You'll never notice, chat. It was a fateful 2 a.m. Elidari. Get the messages up. You sent me a message. You said, read the chapter before you get spoiled or something. It was a very alarming, deceitfully alarming message, especially constructed chat, for me to be excited to watch a chapter, or read a chapter as you do. Now, this is very bad. Elidari shouldn't do this. But he had utmost confidence that I would enjoy this chapter. And obviously, I read the chapter, greatest Chainsaw Man chapter of all time. It's in the title. We all love it. I'm saluting 3 times over. There's cum on a hand at the end of the chapter. My goodness, we're not up to that yet, Illyri. And I couldn't believe it. So, Illyri, I head over to thegreattwitter.com. I may already have it open here, but I already opened it here now, so we're just opening it again. Everybody should follow the greatest Twitter on Earth right now, @NationEventer. Why is it called that, Illyri? That's something for a different day. So don't look at that one.
Okay.
There's no nipple in that Ritsuko porn picture that I retweeted. Then we've got, I have a spattering of 4 great tweets here in a row that just come out about 30 seconds after each other. Now, at first I thought about this one, I was like, oh, this one's great. But then I'm like, hold on, we need to give context for this. This chapter's only just come out. So I just go, Chainsaw Man goated, you know. I'm just
Nice.
on my shit, 2 likes, no biggie. Guts and Castro for pussies, true, similar situation, but way better in Chainsaw Man, 2 likes. Then I got part 2 over part 1, 6 likes.
Legendary.
And then I said, what's a fire punch? Because fire punch sucks now, it's no good, and we got rid of it. And then later I just had to, oh, we're not up to that yet, later. We gotta click on Chibi Reviews this thing, and we gotta go through all the...
How many funny things did I say? Denji kiss Yuri back, and it's crazy how many have missed that detail. True, because everybody was saying Denji got raped. Don't forget. My goodness. Anyway. Oh my god, Trip is just saying Lamau. I'm sure I said something hilarious. But true, that was the day. Why didn't he make this chapter 169? Did I say that in that video? I probably did, huh? Let's find out what anime this is, and then we can end this video.
The videos covering you and I are polar opposites. You know that I think this anime is awesome. And
You and I are polar opposites. Never heard of it. Heath, tell us, is this show any good? I feel like I've watched this guy's videos before. This feels like very Payda's anime Elite-esque thumbnails. Denji was never taught how to love. Wow, that's deep. Who taught you guys how to love? I'm just contemplating that for a second. I swear it. This guy also sounds like Payda's anime, right? Oh my god. What a state of affair it is that we no longer copy Demolition D, we copy Payda's anime. The state of this fucking community, my goodness.
happy to report that that hasn't changed. Though it would be funny if I did a complete 180 one day and had a video like, why this is the worst anime ever, or love is disgusting, only this anime tells it how it is. But no, my only complaint with it thus far is that we only have about a quarter of the season left.
Isn't it hideous watching modern anime after watching the great revolutionary girl Utena? Who would ever watch this trash?
Today, though, I want to talk about an aspect of the show that has only grown in importance as the...
Okay, we found out what the show is. I don't think this video is going to be very interesting. How many views does this video have? How did I find this video? If it doesn't have more than 10k, we're being mean. Oh my god, it's an industry. Oh my god, that's the shot from my fucking video.
Opportunity. It's both and.
God, Kit Harington is the worst in this fucking show, by the way. Oh my god, 4k? What did I say, 10k or 1k? I'm still gonna watch this video.
It's important for you to realize that it.
Oh my god, he's authoritative. Okay, so we can listen to this guy.
Life. You have been subject to propaganda. It is a reality of living
True.
in our political and economic system. And one of the most egregious forms of propaganda that has been perpetrated by mass media against us, particularly against children that were growing up in the 2000s.
Why are we talking about Albo?
Is the falsehood that Pokemon Fire Red was a better game than Pokemon Leaf Green. We all heard some...
Oh, I see what the concept of this game, this video is now. Well, it probably... Leaf Green probably has the better exclusives. No, because Fire Red has Vileplume and Arbok, who I just used, and I like both of them. And Ninetales does suck. And Victory Bell's pretty cool, though. Sandslash isn't as cool as Arbok, though.
Being kids during this generation of Pokemon. Just, oh, Fire sounds cooler than Leaf. And okay, yeah, I kind of get that. And then they would show you the respective covers and be like, oh, hey, one of them has a really cool dragon on the front. And the other one has a weird flower frog on the cover. And I understand that instinct.
It just wasn't equal.
So far from the truth. And so many kids in our generation fell for this argument of aesthetics. Now, look, if you're a kid or you're new to Pokemon, to the untrained eye, yeah, the dragon is cooler. But you really need to understand something. That fat orange lizard sucks.
Oh my god, he's got 55k subs.
I love Charizard growing up. It's a cool
Charizard does suck, he's a bitch.
You actually have to consider playing the game, how much of a liability defensively he can be. Look, for those of you unaware, a core part of how Pokemon works is through types. Every Pokemon
True, this is actually a political channel. That's kind of funny.
Aren't effective against it. The simplest example is the fire typing. If you attack a Pokemon
wow,
with a water type,
you really didn't get a lot of views on this one, huh? Oh, it's only 6 hours ago.
And this is the whole gist of how Pokemon works. Certain types are effective against others. It's jokingly been referred to as like a massive game of rock, paper, physical defensive stats. So in case you were wondering, that's probably why, as a kid, your Charizard was struggling really hard with Graveler and Geodude, despite the fact you had leveled it up so much. Oh, and before you say that, like, look, okay, we have to randomly give this evolutionary line Steel-type moves, despite the fact it makes no sense, so that they can cope with rock types. Not a great sign in Charizard's favor. Okay, enough of the Charizard hate wagon talk there. Let's move on.
This has just been 5 minutes on Venusaur vs Charizard.
Some other actual tangible differences between the games themselves that clearly makes Leaf Green a better option than Fire Red. Well, first of all, let's get into the gambling. I don't really know how this got greenlit in a game for kids, but like there's a surprisingly decent amount of focus on in-game slot machines in Fire Red.
Gambling's epic.
and Leaf
How
Green
is this different game to
kind of like
game?
the focal point of one of the in-game cities. There's like a subplot there about fighting the villains, yada yada yada. But the point is, you go there, you gamble, you can redeem the coins you earn for gifts, including very rare Pokemon. And between Fire Red and Leaf Green, there is no contest. Leaf Green is 100% the better option when it comes to what you can win gambling in this game. The main focus
Is it just there's an Arbok or a Sandshrew?
when it comes to prizes from gambling in Pokemon are going to be, I think at least, 2 Pokemon that you can get as rewards. Number 1 is Porygon, and number 2 is Dratini. And they have vastly different costs in the 2 games. Dratini,
Oh, they swapped the prices.
which
Interesting.
eventually evolves up into Dragonite, one of the best Pokemon you can get in the game. In Fire Red, in terms of 1 slot coins, costs around 2,800. But in Leaf Green, it's 4,600. So big difference there. But not as big as the difference when it comes to getting Porygon between the 2 games. In Leaf Green, Porygon costs 6,500 1 coins from the slot machines. In Fire Red, Porygon costs 10,000 coins.
That's not cool.
In Leaf Green, it is 35% less to get this Pokemon. And the reason why that matters is because
True.
a number of Pokemon could
Oh
only
my
be
god,
in
here
one
we go.
Pokemon.
Is the
And that
split?
is really the point of focus when it comes to which of these 2 games is better. Look, I've got to give Fire Red its due. Arcanine and Electabuzz, insane powerhouses. Nothing but respect. But beyond that, the Leaf Green
Oh, I can use Magmar in Leaf Green. Magmar's my
roster in
favorite.
comparison is like the 1992 Dream Team. It's not even close. Ekans, Arbok, love you too, but you don't come close to Sandshrew and Sandslash. So the
Crazy talk, that is. Crazy talk.
best early game ground types available, really unrivaled, not even really a contest between those 2 groupings. Then we move on to Oddish, Gloom, Vileplume up against Bellsprout, Weepinbell, Victory Bell. Vileplume is just a slower Victory Bell, so moving on.
Not
Psyduck and Golduck
true.
versus Slowbro and Slowpoke. Don't even want to dignify that with a response.
Psyduck's the greatest Pokemon of all time. This guy's a fucking idiot. What does this guy frickin' know? Oh, Shitty Elitari is here. Were you impressed by my ability to name the anime 50... somewhat I was impressed with Elitari's ability to name those anime. But I feel like that game is not very fun, and the fact that I have to spell things right disqualifies me from trying the new Elitari game, where he did indeed get 46 out of 50 correct. Now, that was very impressive. Remember this guy?
For this image 10 years ago, I was hyped when I first saw this.
True. I remember seeing all the YouTube videos when the new Berserk was announced in like 2015 or whatever. And I remember the image of Guts on like a sword, on a horse with his big sword. And I remember thinking, that Berserk thing, I've heard people talk about that before. And then I read it in like 2017, which was after this stuff. Had I seen like the Super Eye Patch Wolf video shitting on it before I read it? No, because remember the good Super Eye Patch Wolf video, and it was what made me read it.
For this teaser 10 years ago, I was still hyped. And then the intro comes along, and it's actually 2D animated. It's a little thrown together, but if the rest of the show looked like this, it'll be alright. And then the episode comes. Many people, including myself, have talked at length about the issues with Berserk 2016 and Berserk 2017, and how many of us thought that this was one of the worst anime ever made at the time. There was a part of my mind that looked back and read criticism about my criticism that it's not that bad. And I remember thinking, oh, they're
It is very fucking ugly.
probably right. I'm sure there is much worse out there, and I'm sure we'll be able to look back and see the merits of this one. But on this year, 2026, of its 10th anniversary, I find it truly impressive how nothing much worse than this anime has actually released. I truly do think it is one of the worst things to come out in the anime industry, and it just so happens to be adapting one of the best things to come out of the manga industry. And now I've gone and watched it all
True.
again. It's funny looking at the ship before it hit the iceberg. It had some potential. They were under a lot of constraints, obviously, but I find it funny how they chose to move away from one of the tried and true methods the films and they themselves demonstrated: animated heads and CGI bodies. That was what worked in the films when it finally found its footing, and that was what they did in the first trailer. But they decided to move away from that and dedicate the 2D artists to some very minor sequences.
It wasn't the same studio, right? Was it, Heath? That game was too easy for you to get only 46. I think I actually would have done worse than Elitari, because there was one or something that he knew that I didn't know. Because there was like, I think it ended up being Bungo Stray Dogs or something, and I was convinced it was a Durarara character, so I would have got it wrong.
And then hatch the shit out of everything else. That first awesome teaser with the great 2D face was replaced with something literally worse. They changed it to Guts' character model, who is also changed from a much closer looking model to this. But looking back in a retrospective sort of way, there's a few things that are interesting about this show. Morbid curiosity, if you will. Oh, and by the way, for extra torment, I decided to rewatch it in dubbed. It's awful. But anyway, there are all sorts
Of course it is, all dubs suck.
of fun facts with Berserk. Like, did you know that Studio Ghibli helped work on the third Berserk film? The one that featured the eclipse. Fun fact, Ganishka makes a blink and you'll miss it
True. Did you know Studio Ghibli does that sometimes? They work on some other films.
cameo. Fun fact, in the dub
Hold
for
on,
the
what
Studio
was the
Ghibli helped
second
work on the
film?
third
Fun
Berserk
fact.
film. The one that featured the eclipse. Fun fact, Ganishka makes a blink and you'll miss it cameo. Fun fact, in the dub for this, they famously
I do vaguely remember that.
flipped the cast list by not getting marked
I remember it was really weird that they were pretty certain they weren't getting a season 3, so they tried not to introduce Ganishka really hard.
the one that featured the eclipse. Fun fact, Ganishka makes a blink and you'll miss it cameo. Fun fact, in the dub for this, they famously flipped the cast list by not getting Mark DeRayson, Kevin T. Collins, and Carrie Karanen back for Guts script.
True. All the shitty dub. That 97 dub fucking sucks too. And everybody loves the Bonfire of Dream. It's so fucking cringe, I can't deal with it. So I'm glad all these guys are gone.
And Casca respectively.
Oh, but they were also the guys in the movie, and I liked them in the movie. Well, actually, I only really like Griffith in the movie. I'm trying to play things here. Hey, I'm trying to play things here. Why is it not playing? Why is it fucked up? Why is everything crashing? What's going on? Do I gotta refresh? Oh my goodness, we're going freaking shopping? Oh my god, it's a ChatGPT ad. What's an easy high-protein dinner I can make? True. That's what we
When I
should be
first saw
asking.
this image 10 years ago, I was
Yeah.
this script's created by Miura. How does it sound? Sort of
Oh my
absurd.
god, I think I just saw
Huge
a
from
rape.
Bullhounds. Puck brings the bloody horse indoors. It's literally. They played them for the 97 dub. They played them for the film dub. But it's a fun fact with Berserk. Like, did you know that Studio Ghibli?
Oh my god, we're
worked on
back to the
third
fun
Berserk film?
facts.
The one that featured the eclipse. Fun fact, Ganishka makes a blink and you'll miss it cameo. Fun fact, in the dub for this, they famously flipped the cast list by not getting Mark Derason, Kevin T. Collins, and Carrie Karanen back for Guts, Griffith, and Casca respectively. They played them for the 97 dub, they played them for the film dub, but they didn't get them for this. But did you know that they did get back the actor for Skull Knight, who returned from the movies, and they did, bizarrely enough, get back the
Wow.
voice actors for the King of Midland and Princess Charlotte? How did they get the callback?
Oh my god, Misty? No, I think she wasn't Princess Charlotte in the movies, right?
Fun fact, Kentaro Miura himself wrote an episode for this show. It's a sequence of events that largely pads
Really?
Princess Charlotte. How did they get the callback? Fun fact, Kentaro Miura himself wrote an episode for this show. It's a sequence of events that largely pads out the chapter where Guts is captured by the Holy See. Guts escapes
Hold on, now we gotta go back and reassess this episode and all the added intricacies.
from them as an
He's like George R. R. Martin for real.
manga, but he ends up taking Farnese to an old mansion. Seppuku serves the same role, as he will eventually come to retrieve
Oh, I do remember that.
Farnese, but observes from afar that this is the mansion of Count Lansdowne, who governed Midland's western outskirts. He loved hunting, loved hounds, but a fire killed him and his retainers 5 years before. As Guts and Farnese take refuge from the Ghoulhounds, Puck brings the bloody horse indoors. It's literally just so they can accommodate for the horse moment a little later on. It's so lazy and stupid though. Happy year of the horse, everyone. Farnese sees a creepy 3D portrait of a girl, and then runs into the keeper of the hounds, who, it turns out, ate the master of the house because he was cruel to him. He also seems to be wearing a 3-piece, so figure that one out. Meanwhile, the master also was nice to him, and the dog brought him a Bayolet, so he sacrificed them all. The oddest part about this episode that I've never seen anybody really talk about is that despite it being from Miura, it is near identical to two other scripts created by Miura. How does it sound? Sword of the Berserk, the Dreamcast game, and the Holy Demon War PS2 game both have segments written by Miura that both also feature
True, we freaking love those games I've never played.
out of similarities. Guts, fresh from saving Casca with the Tower of Conviction, enters the manor of Count Balzac in the Dreamcast game, and when they enter, they see
Count Ballsack?
the portrait of a young beautiful girl who's nowhere to be seen. Once Guts uncovers what's going on, Balzac reveals he sacrificed his daughter, and Guts fights Balzac, the apostle, in his manor. Guts, fresh from saving Casca with the Tower of Conviction, enters the manor with a picture of a wholesome family on the walls in the PS2 game, but there's nobody to be found. It turns out the whole family, aside from the kids, burned up in a fire. With just the two kids left and a Bayolet, the brother sacrificed the sister, and Bob's your uncle. Off he pops to pay the piper. I don't know if Miura just had a rough draft script ready to pull out whenever the occasion arose, but it's strange that it happened thrice. I mean, I guess I can see why. The premise is pretty solid, but it's strange that this sequence of events that isn't in the manga ends up happening 3 separate
Oh my
times
god, that was
outside of it, but
Rosine.
written by the mangaka. The biggest overall fault of this show was the direction, or lack thereof. You had great talent for the show sticking around from the movies, and the director just did not utilize them to a satisfying degree whatsoever. Like, even musically, you have both Shiro Sakasu returning for the soundtrack and Susumu Hirasawa performing
True.
the extra song like he did with the movies, and both come off so strangely. Like, Sakasu's soundtrack is literally half bangers that sound like they were straight from the movies in the orchestral style, and then the rest is bizarrely out of sync with a completely different style, like electric guitars and synthesizers. They probably could have been integrated better with proper editing, but as it stands, even the music is jarring. Ash Crow by Hirasawa felt a little aimless too. It's not got the punch of forces or the sinister atmosphere of Zod.
That's retarded.
And it's not got the melancholy of a lot of his other works either. It just sits somewhere in the middle, it never really gets going. It's a little lacking. Part of that direction, ultimately, was to use CGI to the extreme that they did, which was one of the biggest bads of the show for most people. You had awful looking character models, you had stuff clipping through everything, and it all had this cel-shaded look to mimic the appearance of hand-drawn animation. Looking back, in the 10 years since, anime has come an awfully long way, and there's a lot of anime using CG very tactfully these days. Still, for characters mind you, but even One Piece and the new series of Kingdom have been using it very well. Of course, the more apt comparison is that of Berserk Memorial Edition, which reformatted the 2012 movies into a core of 12 episodes just a few years ago. In this, they both filtered the old CGI so that it was less abrasive, and in the new sequences they had some great 2D animation too. There is some new CG, though the new CG
It is annoying that exists and there's new stuff in it. I should probably watch that one day.
is much, much better than the movies were, which really says a lot in terms of progress. The movies will have had
Wait,
there
what's
was 12
that?
episodes just a few years ago. In this, they both filtered the old CGI so that it was less abrasive, and in the new sequences they had some great 2D animation too. There is some new CG, though the new CG is much, much better than the movies were, which really says a lot.
There's
It
no
says
way
they had some
that
great 2D
shot I
animation,
just
too.
saw
There is some new
we're saying
CG.
is better than those movies.
Though the new
Because this is terrible, right?
CG is much, much better.
That's
than
the
movies
worst walk I've ever seen in my
were,
life.
which really says a lot in terms of progress. The movies will have had a much higher budget than
Versus the Battle of Doldry?
so the fact that the new CGI in a TV show looks better than movies from 10 years ago just about says it all. I guess it just sucks that they decided to go
I guess this guy's an anti-movie guy. We hate those people. Ghost have his return, and I see Creedon in the chat. Sometimes in life you gotta pirate and play Disco Elysium. One day. I'm back. We are doing St. Patrick's Day breakfast at work. Now that's crazy. You know, the Irish or something. I know about that. Kingdom is amazing, but the first season CG is painful. I didn't even know there was a Kingdom anime still coming out. I do remember people hating on the first season a long time ago. Kingdom has like 900 chapters or something, right? I read the first chapter once, I think.
with this style when they decided to, as 2016 was very much a different time to 2026. Kingdom, ironically, had an absolutely despised first 2 seasons because it was fully
Oh
done
my goodness, that's what we just said.
in CGI like this. But I think the stark difference in these two shows is that everything that isn't CGI in that show is done really well. And so if you can just stomach the visuals, everything else falls into place quite nicely. Whereas in Berserk, nothing really falls into place together at all. There's just the occasional glimmer of, oh, that hand-drawn scene looks really good, or that was a great track from Sagasu, minus the awful visuals. There's more decisions wrecking things with this show than anything else. They decided to cover Chapter 2, and then the Conviction Arc's Binding Chain chapter, and Rebirth chapter, which is fine. But they also decided to have flashbacks animated for the Golden Age arc, and they are the most needless and uninformative scenes. So for newcomers, they're just as confused confused, as though there were no flashbacks at all. And for everyone else,
Wow.
it's just another stupid decision. Add that to the fact that these scenes were all 2D as well, a complete waste of an allocation of resources. The 2016 half of the show adapted the Rebirth chapter of the Tower of Conviction arc quite faithfully. The pacing was decent, and it took the pages of the manga without changing anything.
Hey, I'm watching a video
the
here.
2017 half of the show really goes off the rails after the chapter of the Holy Demon War, which was, again, a pretty page-to-page adaptation without muddling things up. But then it just skips just shy of 20 chapters to get the team to the city, instead of just ending things on the beach. And then it has the goal to end with the story continues. Like they didn't just botch any chance of them carrying on the story. Crazy work. We go from the second chapter of Volume 1, skip to the end of Volume 16, then that adapts through to the beginning of...
Who cares, is what I always say. We love adaptations. Is OBS usually full screen for me? Why can I still not make it bigger? Why did it update? Elite RE, don't do the update. It's bad. I can't make the bottom bit smaller. Anyway, it's time for us to leave. The next stream might just be me surprising Elite RE. So everybody, that's going to be a big event when it happens. So everybody's going to be there and be excited. You can all make predictions about what we're going to consume and flex on Elite RE. We should probably get Elite RE to predict that. That would all be fun. But you know, we'll see everybody back then. Or in the future there, you know, is the future in the back or is the back in the future? These are just questions we can't answer in life, and that's upsetting. But anyway, I gotta make like 3 videos before the end of the week, alright? So we can maintain our forward-going momentum. Momentum is important in life. Succession was a fun show. I gotta watch your season 3 review. My goodness, don't forget there's a season 4. Did you start watching it recently, Ghost Tab? I didn't know. Why didn't you bring this up earlier? My goodness, we could have been talking about that great Succession instead of watching shitty Berserk videos. But true, Succession was a fun show. What can I say? And true, I talked about it in my new video. Anyway, I'm ending this fucking